Island Rewind, brought to you by Drain Pro Plumbing. 24-hour emergency plumbing, nights, weekends, whenever.
It's one of Victoria's top attractions, and it's been in the news a lot over the last few years. But the origin story of the Royal BC Museum doesn't get as much coverage. In 1986, however, CHEK's Howard Markson channeled his inner curator to report on the museum's creation as part of the museum's Centennial.
In January 1886, some of Victoria's most prominent citizens signed a petition calling for the establishment of a BC Provincial Museum. On October 25th that year, it opened in the bird cages, the legislature of the day. It was one room full of static displays of some of BC's natural artifacts. Not all that much to look at, but at least they were being preserved.
Also part of the original museum 100 years ago was its first curator, John Fannin. The hard-working historian was not only dedicated himself to preserving the culture and artifacts of British Columbia, he also gathered together like-minded individuals and formed the BC Natural History Society. It was only 3 years later that the BC Provincial Museum had to move out of its cramped one-room display and into larger quarters.
The larger quarters also were outgrown time and time again. But whatever changes the province and our culture went through over the years, at least we had a museum to document and preserve them. It's possible now at the Provincial Museum to see artifacts that run from well before 1886 through the individual decades to the present. That's the whole idea for the 100th birthday celebrations planned for all day tomorrow in the area of the museum. All the events get underway at 10:45. And best of all, everything is free.
John Fannin never could have imagined that what he started would turn into this 100 years later. A world-class museum with more than 1 million visitors every year. But you have the chance for a retrospective, both to look back at the past of the museum and towards the future as well. And it's all happening at the Mammoth Birthday Party all day tomorrow.